It's going to be a challenging winter all over the world. The energy prices are surging off the charts in Europe and Asia, causing a power outage in China where coal prices are not affordable for power plants. In the Middle East, Lebanon suffered a total power outage all around the country for 24 hours in the beginning of October, where power plants cannot buy fuel. The UK and the rest of Europe are in the throes of a mounting fuel crisis, which has induced panic buying and erratic behavior. Oil prices in America hit a 7-year high, and U.S. gasoline prices are up $1 a gallon from last year. If markets don't stabilize soon, we could be in for a very tough winter. According to a study that looked at the albedo level, or level of light reflection, from 1998 to 2017, a researcher of planetary sciences at the University of California found that warming clouds have made the Earth darker. The study argued that for some time, many scientists had hoped that a warmer Earth might lead to more clouds and higher albedo, which would then help to moderate warming and balance the climate system. But this new finding shows the opposite is true. The satellite measurements from NASA's Clouds and the Earth's Radiant Energy System project showed clouds over the eastern Pacific Ocean have been reflecting light far less and darkening overall. According to Harvard University daily newspaper, the Harvard Crimson, the study abroad programs at Harvard Summer School are moving from Beijing to Taipei. The Harvard Crimson University daily newspaper reports that due to a perceived lack of friendliness from Beijing Language and Culture University, the program decided to move to National Taiwan University in Taipei, Taiwan. As usual, the Harvard summer program in Taipei is named Harvard Taipei Academy. It will provide 4 intensive courses in modern Chinese at the intermediate and advanced levels. More than that, Harvard Taipei Academy promises that Chinese language learning is inseparable from engagement with society and culture.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on this week's Fun Day News. Here are your top stories. Lebanon suffered a total power outage over the weekend of October the 10th, leaving its population of over 6 million without central generated electricity for 24 hours. But Lebanon isn't alone. Following the mass power outage in China, India is also teetering on the edge of a power crisis. While in Europe, natural gas is now trading at the equivalent of $230 per barrel, meaning prices have risen more than 130% since the beginning of September. And in East Asia, the cost of natural gas is up 85% since the start of September, hitting roughly $204 per barrel in oil price. With energy costs spiking, researchers are worried that a global energy crisis is upon us, with no quick fix ahead.
New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman, the author of the worldwide bestseller The World is Flat and a 3-time Pulitzer Prize winner, said that the aggressive moves to pivot away from fossil fuels in Europe before renewable sources have sufficient capacity to replace them, the unexpected fast-surging demand for energy in the post-pandemic recovery made suppliers unable to keep up, including natural gas providers, oil distillers, and thermal power plants. The consequences could be that Europe may be facing a winter of energy shortages that leave people shivering and struggling to pay heating bills. Deutsche Welle reported on October 4th that the British Army on Monday started deploying military tanker drivers to deliver petrol to fuel stations in a bid to resolve the nation's energy crisis. In the U.S., the price of natural gas has surged more than 180% over the past 12 months. Nikos Tsafos, an energy and geopolitics expert at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, a Washington-based think tank, thinks that anxiety has caused the market to break away from the fundamentals of supply and demand.
The sudden increase in economic activities due to economies recovering, accompanied with a surge in demand, plus severe climate change, created the perfect storm for a new energy crisis. Furthermore, a new study has found that clouds are reflecting less sunlight as the ocean warms, pushing more energy into the planet's climate system. The result? Climate change is making the Earth darker.
According to a new study published in the Advancing Earth and Space Science journal, researchers found that warming oceans have led to less bright clouds to reflect sunlight into space, which is emitting even more energy into Earth's climate system. With the data from the past 20 years, the study reveals that the planet is reflecting around half a watt less light per square meter than it was 20 years ago, with the last 3 years showing the most significant dip. The study has linked this directly to global climate change and climatic warming, as that is the same area that has witnessed increases in sea surface temperatures. Another impact of this is the amount of solar energy being captured by the Earth's atmosphere and oceans, contributing to global warming. The researchers have found a correlation between the lower levels of solar reflection in the last 20 years and the amount of solar energy being trapped on Earth. Harvard University is starting a new program for students to learn Chinese in Taiwan, the only place in the world to learn traditional, authentic Chinese. It is announced on Harvard Summer School website and reported by its university daily newspaper, the Harvard Crimson. We have more details from the program director Jennifer L. Liu and Liv Neckman, a postdoctoral research fellow at the Harvard University Fairbanks Center for Chinese Studies. Harvard Summer School is a division of Harvard's continuing education that existed for 150 years. It recently announced that its study abroad program is opening the Harvard Summer Program in Taipei, named Harvard Taipei Academy, offering a full academic year's worth of Chinese language study in the course of an 8-week summer session. According to Harvard University daily newspaper, the Harvard Crimson, the program actually is moving from Beijing Language and Culture University in Beijing, China, to National Taiwan University in Taipei, Taiwan, starting the summer of 2022. Program Director Jennifer L. Liu said the program decided to move to Taipei due to a perceived lack of friendliness from the host institution, Beijing Language and Culture University. In the announcement on the Harvard Summer School webpage, the program offers 4 intensive courses in modern Chinese at the intermediate and advanced levels. Their curriculum materials are designed to develop and reinforce all aspects of Chinese language ability, including speaking, oral comprehension, reading, and writing in authentic cultural contexts.
For those who don't know, Taiwan is the only country in the world to have traditional Chinese as an official language. The Chinese Language Division of the National Taiwan University Language Center is one of the educational institutions in Taiwan for international students to learn the traditional Chinese language, including speaking, oral comprehension, reading, and writing. Students from all over the world who come to study here benefit from learning the traditional form of Chinese, as well as experience the Taiwanese culture through extracurricular activities, from calligraphy to music to Tai Chi and even Mahjong.
Liv Neckman, a postdoctoral research fellow at the Harvard University's Fairbanks Center for Chinese Studies, said the program itself is going to be specifically teaching about Taiwan to introduce Taiwan not just as a place, but as a topic, an area of study. He thinks it is going to give students a different kind of insight into Taiwan. Also, all courses will include a midterm extended weekend social study project outside of Taipei in some of the most historically, culturally, and geographically remarkable locations in Taiwan. On weekends, there are tours to cultural and historical landmarks, including to the Palace Museum, the National Park of Yangmingshan, the bustling Shilin Night Market, the iconic village of Jufan, and more.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on this week's Fun Day News. Let's make every day a fun day. I am Wade Lee, your host, and I'll see you next time.